All right, greetings and salutations, everyone. Welcome to the Crypto Truth, where I give you the truth as I see it. We're going to go ahead and get started to talk about Holochain and my review of their AMA. Uh, the Holo AMA number 45. There's a lot of things we need to go over, so I'm excited. This is great news. A lot of it's great news. There's some concerning things I'll mention, but let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing that they did was they went over the Elemental Chat. They talked about how they released Elemental Chat and that it's a working product. Obviously, if we've been keeping track, so we know that it's a working product. We know that things have been going on smoothly, and that the Holoports are up and they need to be updated. So they mentioned that there's a lot of people out there that have Holoports and they're not updated quite yet, but that's okay. They're going to be updating their Holoports, and then we're just going to have even more nodes out there, so which is great. And then they talked about hosts. The next level as far as the roadmap goes is that now that the Holoports are able to participate in HoloChat, they want the hosts that are using Holoports to be able to host Elemental Chat from the World Wide Web, from just a regular everyday web browser, which is cool. And they said they're developing and they're testing as they go. But the main thing is, the most important thing is that we actually have a working product. I know a lot of people have been worried about Holochain and, oh, has it been in the dirt and been in the grass and it's no longer alive. It's really alive, and I think kudos to the team for doing a good job. The Holo community for doing a great job of moving forward during this pandemic, over the winter break, because there was like a little slight break there where there was hardly anything happening. So kudos to that. The next thing is now the next thing on the roadmap is they want the applications to be used, right? That's the next thing, is to actually have to build on top of Elemental Chat. Elemental Chat is just like a little small thing. Now, once we have Elemental Chat, and then after the hosts are able to, those who have the Holoports are able to host Elemental Chat, now we're working on bigger and better things, and it's just going to grow from there and have apps to be hosted by those who are using the Holoports and everything else in between. So that's wonderful, and that's great news. All right, so going into the questions, some of the questions were very simple. I did want to kind of get into a question and answer that I was concerned about, but the first one was someone asked, can you create a stablecoin on Holochain? This is an important question, because if you're able to create a stablecoin on Holochain, that means that you'll be able to use Holo Fuel. And if you have a stable coin for your, I guess this was a question for whatever government you're in, right? Whatever country you're in, excuse me, whatever government that you're a part of. Is because if you're using, let's just use an example, if you're using the Turkish lira, I hope I said that right. If you're using that, and let's say you have Holo Fuel, and you want to cash out of your Holo Fuel, and you have a Turkish lira stablecoin. Well, if you have that, then it will be able to go from, Holo Fuel to the Turkish lira. So if you're hosting and you're actually earning Holo Fuel, you can turn that into the Turkish lira. So now you have a stablecoin in which you can go into fiat currency or to whatever cryptocurrency you want to use. So that's awesome. I'm also going to talk a little bit about why it would be good for governments to actually use Holochain and their technology. But let's move forward here. The question about Holo Fuel being released in 2021. So Mary, she just basically said that's the plan, right? That's the plan. So I do anticipate that they will have Holo Fuel done this year in 2021. I'm gonna get, so after this video, probably later on today or maybe tomorrow, I'm gonna have a deep conversation about my thoughts on the hot token and Holo Fuel. I'm also gonna go back and review some things, some quotes and some of the things that they mentioned over the summer last year, so that I can kind of bridge it from last year to right now and what the goal is. So the next thing they had a question was, they was talking about the hosting app. So when can they make money? So here's something that I want to bring up. It's very, very clear to me. It's very, very clear to me that the Holochain, the team has been very supportive and are very supportive. Miss Mary Camacho, she mentioned a number of times that those who have bought the Holoports, right, have kind of believed in this company, this aspect, before anybody else did. So they kind of really want to take care of them, and they want them to be able, the people who bought Holoports, they want you guys to be able to earn money. And for right now, it's just been collecting dust. So if you have the Holoport Plus or the regular Holoport or the Nano, and they talked about the Nano, and they said the Nanos are coming out as soon as they get some things together. So you have all of these things. They want to be able to, for you guys who have Holoports, you want to be able to make money. Yeah, it's great. You can use Elemental Chat and everything else in between, but now you kind of really want to make money. This is where I'm very, very bullish on Holo Fuel, because if there are a lot of people out there using these Holoports, which I do plan on one of these days purchasing one once I get the money, to purchase a Holoport, we then can get a better idea of the supply and demand. And if they are, and I'm going to talk about this because they said they're running out of Holoports, if they're continuing to create many, many more Holoports and the supply is there, the supply and demand is there, it's going to be quite interesting on the value of Holo Fuel. So anyway, I'm going to get into that later on in more in depth, but yeah. The next question they had was about the transactions per second. Now, if you guys remember, I talked about this. If you guys could go to the video, or later on, I'll put it in the details about Holochain, the next frontier, and I have it. You know, I have the graph up, and I basically show you guys like the differences of transactions per second and the different the different DLT or the distributed ledger technology that is out there in their transactions per second. Well, the thing about it is that with Holochain, as you guys could have seen, that it just seems like there's no real way to answer that question. And now I believe that they answered the question quite wonderfully, actually, in the AMA. So basically, they were saying, well, what do you mean by transactions per second? Because how fast does it need to be? Well, it really depends on how you're going to use it. Now, I'm not going to get into all the technical stuff because you guys know I'm just a regular guy. I'm a regular investor. I'm not into all of that tech stuff like that. But from what I gathered, and I could be wrong, but from what I gather, it's how many transactions per second do you really need, right? How are you using this? Because they're basically saying if you have 5 people, that's within your that what you're doing, the transaction per second is probably going to be very low, right? Very high, but it could still be very high. How many Holoports do you need? Not Holoports, so excuse me. How are you going to use this application? Is it going to be like some kind of Twitter type thing, which they mentioned in AMA? You guys just listen to the AMA. I'll get you guys confused real quick, trying to explain what they how they explained it. So I don't want to get you guys confused at all. Next, they talked about the Holo Fuel. They talked about the test Holo Fuel. So right now, once they get into testing for the portals, um, the Holoports, excuse me, you won't be able to earn Holo Fuel. So they're like, hey, look, I'm sorry, but you won't be able to earn Holo Fuel. But there's something that when Miss Mary Camacho was speaking about that, she says, and I quote, price was super, because she was talking about, let me put it in context here. She was talking about how basically she understands that, you know, there's been sacrifice from many aspects, from people in the company, from people that have purchased Holoports from the beginning. So I do know that they really, really want to support those who have purchased Holoports in the beginning, and the only way that they can do that is to ensure that they get paid, which we'll get into that. But she said something very interesting. Price was super low, but you guys stuck with us. She did not have the context of what was super low, or she said price was super low, but she didn't have the context of what price of what was super low. But you guys stuck with us. I'm still trying to figure out exactly what that means, but that is something to look into, because honestly, if she's saying, hey, the price of hot was super low, but you guys stuck with us, you guys, kept your hot, that could be a very positive thing. Because maybe she's actually thinking about some of us who actually invested in the project, who actually purchased hot. I mean, let's be honest here. Like for personal gain, to be able to be free, to be able to invest in a project and receive dividends for believing in them, for purchasing hot and keeping it for a long period of time. So there's some silver lining there, but anyways, I don't know exactly what she meant by that, so I can't really tell you that that's exactly what she meant, but it would be great if that's what she meant, right? So anyway, they talked about this in quite a length, about those who have been patient in purchasing, those who have purchased the Holoports, being patient with the updates, being patient with the release of the technology. So now what they did say was this: all Holochain apps can be tested on Holoports, and the host can be paid through the tests. So they are going to be having tests for the Holoports, and the host can actually receive Holo Fuel through the tests once I believe, I don't want to say specifically, but once beta is either towards its end or near its end or whatever they're doing. But I do believe that this is this is a very bullish sign for the price of hot itself. And there's also another reason why I say that, and we're going to get into that in a second. All right. They want to really reward hosts at an early stage because, as I forgot his name, but he said that these are the people who most believe in the project. So all of us, not just, I mean, there's a lot of you guys out there who have Holoports and are waiting for your nanos and stuff like that. So that's wonderful. That's great news. You guys, everyone, all of us actually who have the hot token, have who at least purchased the hot token a while back, have supported and believed in this project. And I've supported and believed in this project as well. Not just, I mean, I can't afford a Holoport, but what I can do, and I do have a little bit of the hot token, but just a little bit, but I do support and believe in this project. And I believe that there are different ways that this project can really affect the world, affect society as a whole, and really kind of, there we go, I believe there's going to be more of a citadel type of community going on. And I really, really do believe that we're headed that direction. I really do. I'm not going to get into the specifics as far as how that works with the economy, but yeah. So next up is basically they say if people want to use the hot reserve to swap hot for Holo Fuel. This is one of the reasons why I need to go back, because I really want to know exactly what's in their minds as far as how they're going to um, use hot token, because it says if people want to use the hot reserve. So it is a reserve. And thank you for one of you guys in the comments. I know you guys mentioned this and you explained it, and how it's going to be a reserve. The reason why I was questioning that or hesitant on answering or talking about that is because they did talk a little bit about keeping the hot token, or people wanting to keep the hot token. So, but anyway, we'll get into that later. Now, someone asked about the Binance. The person had a question. Well, they had bought hot. They're from the U.S. They bought hot when hot was on the on Binance, and not Binance US, but it was on regular Binance. And obviously, as you guys know, the US will do their stupid rules and stuff. We can't do stuff. So Binance had to back out and create Binance US, in which there's no hot on Binance US. Well, this individual, what they did was they took their hot and they placed it on the Nano Ledger. And now that they have their own wallet, they're saying, hey, how can I swap this out now? Because obviously, if you're in the US, you can't what's the word? You can't swap it out from Binance US. So basically what they're saying is, they said that Binance will not be involved in that aspect of the swap. So basically, even if Binance US does have hot, and I hopefully they're able to use hot or Holo Fuel, so they can't really go over certain prices and stuff like that, and that's a whole other thing. But there's a lot going on with the exchanges. But they said Holo will be providing the swap, which is going to be very interesting. So as long as you're able to transfer your hot over, you have your keys and everything else in between. As long as you're able to transfer your hot over, then you should be fine, and then you can swap it out for Holo Fuel. Now, here's the thing. For me personally, you know what? I'm not gonna get into it, because I get into I'm really gonna get into the hot and the Holo Fuel thing, because I do want us as regular people, as regular investors, to be able to make the right decisions of how we actually transfer, and when we're going to transfer our Holo Fuel, our hot token, into Holo Fuel. But they basically said that it won't be done primarily through a third party. They did say that some exchanges will be supporting the swap, but we'll see how that's going to work. So, basically, there's a lot of information. There's a lot of great things that's going on. I really do believe in this project. I think it's going to take off. For many of you guys, for a lot of people, I just really don't understand how someone looks at this technology and they're not excited about the possibilities. And by the way, before I get into let's talk about the possibilities, because in the AMA, I don't know the guy. It was the first time I saw him at an AMA, but he really eloquently described how Holochain is going to be used in the future. It's by being able, yes, Holochain needs the internet, but the ports, because of the ports, it won't need the server. However, he was talking about how he believes that devices, he knows that theoretically devices will be able to communicate with each other and be able to do all of this without the means of solely through Wi-Fi, without the means of the internet. And again, this is technology that we do know that is out there. Like he was talking about Bluetooth capabilities. Well, with Bluetooth, you don't need the internet, right? You have two devices. You have my phone or whatever, or whatever you have, and you're able to connect it to another device, and you don't need the internet. It's just between those two. which is great because with Holo, and I'm going to get into this a little bit more on, I'm going to talk about Holochain and how I believe that it's going to, how I believe governments are going to be able to use Holochain to their advantage. And that's going to be something interesting because usually when you're thinking peer-to-peer and different things like that, it's great for the citizens. It is great. It's great for the citizens. It's great for everyday people. It's not good for big businesses like Facebook and Google and all of those guys, but it is good. It will be great for government. So be on the lookout for that. I know this video is kind of long. I'm going to try to break up these videos because I do understand that there's a lot of information here. So the next couple of ones, I'm going to make a specific video about the hot token and Holo Fuel and how that's going to be used. And then I'm also going to be making another video on exactly what's going on with Holochain, how you can use it to your benefit in the future, and how it's actually going to change the world and shape the economy. So anyway, you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you guys very much for being patient. I know I was out yesterday, but I'm back now. I'm back better, stronger than ever. And I definitely look forward to hearing you guys' comments on exactly what you think about Holochain and where you think it's going to go. I really do appreciate all of you guys for paying attention. I'm all in with Holo, so you guys take it easy. As I always say, please, 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 please do your own research. I definitely recommend you guys look at the video Holochain Next Frontier. I'll try to put it in the try to remember to put it in the comments below. And most importantly, out there, you guys stay safe out there.